Hey, what's up everyone? Aabb Trades here and welcome to another Sunday night watch list. Going over some ideas to keep an eye out on for the week ahead. Let's get into it. Okay, so top junkie stock picks first. Alright, first we got Sopa and Grtx in small cap land that we're going to keep an eye on here. Sopa ran crazy last week on news that it was going to be included in the Russell 2000 index. And that was enough to send this stock from the low threes all the way up to $22 a share. We're going to be looking for a continuation move here. We got the hour charts. We got this nice little consolidation after that 22 move. Oh, keep an eye out for, the week open red to green, the dip and rip setup. We got this nice base here in the 15s. So we definitely want to see that get respected in the morning, right? As far as I'm concerned, as long as we respect this 15 support and we open north of this trend line, I think this is still in play. I think that on the daily chart, we got some resistance here at 30, so still plenty of fun to be had if it wants to give it to us now. The next one in small cap land is going to be Grtx, which just has not died yet. I mean, this had this nice gap up here on the 13th from $1.30 up into the 270s, but just continues to grind higher, which means that it's just been punishing early shorts here. What's interesting to me is that you had this day here, you had this blow off day when it went from 330s all the way up into 469, and then just like kind of slowly worked its way back up. So there really hasn't been a lot of profits for any early shorts unless you're like proactively covering. But people that are like trying to swing this, I don't think it's looking good. I think we get another like exhaust day. This setup just looks so nice and pretty, right? We kind of started breaking out from this downward trend. You can maybe even think of this as like an ascending triangle too, if you wanted to just kind of do this and connect it to these highs, holding the trend super nicely, super clean. I think we can get one more blow off day, maybe on some volume, to kind of retest this here in the sixes, which would be right around here. This former support now turned resistance. I think that's kind of the final nail in the coffin that we need. So keep an eye on those. And then moving into OTC land, WUV and Aabb have been really, rewarding people. I mean, this thing is up from 1 penny up to 44 cents just in the past couple of weeks. I think that, I don't know, I'm just kind of looking for this to continue. It's what is this news? Okay, it's NFT news. It's hot. It's a hot sector. The market recovered like incredibly going into Christmas. So if the market stays strong and everything, I wouldn't be surprised to see this break out into new highs and rally into year end. Going into that daily chart, going into that weekly chart, let's see, try and get some levels to maybe look out for. Okay, look at this, boom. So here we are at 40. I don't know, I just want to get some kind of an idea, right? Maybe we got the top of this candle at 48. We got this candle at 55. All-time highs at 67. Something to keep an eye on. Now, it doesn't have to keep moving, but it's there. And then the other one is Aabb. Another, I think, NFT crypto related thing, could run into the close. This one, formally earlier in the year, ran all the way up to 65, almost 66 cents. So I kind of like this one since we have a target to maybe get to. At this point, this had a nice strong close, so you would look for that that morning panic dip and rip sort of setup, maybe sell off down into the 27s and try and get long for that break over 30 if you're going to take that idea. And then now let's move into some of the bigger cap names. This would be like for my options strategy. Really like Facebook here, basing in that 335 zone. For this reversal, we got this higher low here setting up. This has kind of been lagging some of the other software tech growth names here. So really like this for a next push up into that 345, possibly 352. I would look to get like weekly calls if it's going to start setting up. Really important for the option swings. I do prefer to use the 1 hour chart with these EMA clouds. So look for, we kind of got these spikes here, consolidated back into this 5 EMA. We kind of want to see this ride the trend. So if we open up tomorrow and we start to push up, I would look to get long there, right? As close to this EMA cloud as possible, and then ride that push into that 338, possibly that 340 area. Another one that I really like here is AMD, which I went over in my recap where I played this push up into the 150s. Now we're sort of looking for this basing around 150 for the breakout to take us into that 155 area. I think we can rally, maybe revisit the highs in the 160s, but you'll want to see this trend get respected, right? You want to see some basing. We did fall right into this EMA cloud zone, so I gotta see, I'm not just gonna get long at the open. I'm gonna want to see it hold over this 147, 146. I really don't want to see it go under 145 at this point. Like, this area should now serve as a support zone, so keep an eye on that. We'll actually we'll shade this a little bit just to kind of make it a little bit easier to see. You're going to want to see this function as a support area for that rotation higher. Moving on down the line, Docusign. Really like Docusign setting up for a nice gap fill trade. Look at this, just slowly grinding higher, putting up those higher lows, giving us this ascending, motion in here. If the market is strong and wants to continue rallying into year end, I could really see this breaking out over this 160 area to now fill this gap up to 165. We got 178, 180 as the next zone. I mean, ultimately this gap goes all the way to 227, so this could be a really big trade for us. So keep an eye on that. Definitely looking to swing this idea into the close. Really love to see how it's respecting this, putting up these higher lows. Yeah, I mean, if I were to take this at this point, I would risk, that 155 level. You really don't want to see it fall under 155. If you want to give it some room, 150. So this is now your zone of support that you want to see moving forward for this particular idea. Moving on, we got Airbnb as another potential breakout idea, kind of grinding higher. 171s, but we got this, overall we got this motion. So I like that we started breaking out of this trend, and we're gonna hopefully start rotating back up. Our targets would be here at this 180 area, right? Then back up here at this 185, 187. Those would be those zones to keep an eye on. Of course, I would like to see us maybe retest this trend line here for 168, 170. That would be a really great safe entry, but I'm not going to stay beholden to that. Ideally we see a little bit of basing and push over into this 173, 175 zone to kind of give us that breakout. So again, following that 1 hour chart, to give an idea for these swings. I try to ideally hold these for a couple of days. Sometimes if I catch it on the trend day, I'll just do it as a day trade. Overall, IWN, the Russell 2000 ETF, I think if we're talking about long swings into year end / into 2022, I think this could be a really great one too. Sort of bounced right off of this support here at 208. Got this trend break here on the 1 hour and hovering at support over this 200 EMA. Love to see this basing here in the 120s for that next rotation up into the 125 to 127 area. We'll go into this daily chart here so we can sort of see what we're playing with. It's just been kind of ranging here for the entire year. We're still in the middle of this range, so we got to be cautious of that, right? We know we have a resistance area here at 127. You want to see this kind of work. If you're not already in it, you want to see this work right away, so I would keep the stop pretty tight. You don't want to see 220 get given up, right? So this is going to be an important area if you're taking this trade to see it continue. This 120s zone. Kind of extend that a little over. Moving on down, we got Tesla, Rivian, AMC to finish it off. Tesla had this great bounce off of that 900 support line, getting to a high of 1072. So we are looking for some basing over that zone to take us further to maybe test this 1100 zone would be our next area. We're kind of in this descending channel, so be wary of that. Again, we had this nice big green candle on this day, so it wouldn't surprise me to see some pullback and get some basing, some consolidation before making that leg, or even some basing right underneath this level. It's going to be an important level, as we sort of had it here on this day, and then we kind of hovered around it here, bounced off of it here. So that 1070s is going to be pretty key to keep an eye on. Wouldn't be surprised to see us rotate down and retest the 1020s, 1015s before bouncing up and trying it again. So be aware. You could play this on the put side for that rotation down, or you could play this on the long call side to test this channel, possibly this 1100 area. So keep an eye on that. Also looking at Rivian. Rivian, nice ascending triangle here. You know, again, I'm looking at that 100 as a resistance. I think, you know, this is still a bearish chart. I don't think that this is going to really revisit those extreme highs. I mean, we still have the Fed monetary policy tightening into Q1, Q2. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't poke through and maybe try and reclaim this 105, 107 previous support zone here. But something to keep in mind, I would definitely look, you know, I have more of a short preference on this, so long puts into that 100 zone. Honestly, the intraday stuff on the small caps, like these ascending triangle patterns, have had more of a tendency to break down. So if anything, I might wait to see for this rotation up to 100, but then the break of this ascending trend line for a safer entry on the put side there. And then we have AMC here. AMC, again, same-ish. Now, what's interesting here is it looks like we're seeing a little bit of a reverse head and shoulders, so I'll be kind of aware of that. Still think this is, you know, I still have more of a bearish bias here, but, you know, I kind of just want to read the price action, respect it. We've gotten nice fades from this 30 level each time that we have touched it, so, you know, until I get proven otherwise, that's going to be my bias towards it. See if maybe we revisit the 25 zone, you know, if you're going to take this. But again, be aware that we do have this potential formation. If we start to get back up into this 31, 32 zone, then look out for that rotation back up into 35, 36, potentially even 40. Now, I think we're more in a risk-off environment, so I don't know if this pattern is really going to play out, but it's something to keep in mind. And that's going to really do it. I got honorable mentions here with INFY. Bam, breaking out to new highs. Just really nice, clean looking chart. Going to that, look, I mean, this is all-time highs here. So week open red to greens all the way. If you want to play long calls over that 25 mark, the 25 is going to be nice psychological level of resistance. So I would wait for that break or wait for it to pull back a little bit. You know, here we go on the 1 hour chart. We're pretty far above the 35.50. You know, you could wait to see if this bases a little bit. You want to give this a little bit of time to catch up. You know, ideally you want to see this 24.50 level hold this previous high here if you're going to play that. Also BLDR, a little lower volume, but still grinding further. New highs here at 82.90. I did have this on the watch list a little bit ago, but it kind of just sort of faded a little bit. Needed to kind of consolidate some. Failed, hit this 200 EMA on the 1 hour chart before breaking out to new highs. So we're going to keep an eye on this for further consolidation. Not necessarily my favorite, but you know, honorable mention, worth watching. And then we got Cisco here, nice slow mover, getting to new highs as well. Look for that consolidation, look for that grinding push higher. Week open red to greens all day. Let's see if we got, this might be all-time highs on the weekly chart as well. Looks like it. Now, it's important, we're going to want to see this level, this 58.60 level hold as support now too for this continuation if you're going to take this idea. So that's going to do it for the Sunday night watch list. Thanks so much for watching. If you got value out of this video, please consider hitting that like button. If you made it to the end, I mean, obviously you must have liked it a little bit. I mean, it's longer than TikTok, so you might as well hit that little button. Really helps me out, helps grow the show. Consider subscribing and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what other types of content you want to see from this channel. Thanks again for watching. I'm Aabb Trades. I'll see you in the next video.